Hello, Lauren here. Today I have potato soup and it's just, when soup is just, well, that's what my soup is like today. I thought today we would look at a self-counselling session. Of course, when we have a need to resolve an issue or perhaps reduce stress, it is imperative that we have professional counselling or look at professional resources. But allowing for that, if you feel safe, if you feel resilient, you can also look at supportive therapy where you counsel yourself. I can hear Ruth outside and I can see a cockatoo flying just outside, which is quite beautiful. Today, one horse arrived today, 2 arrived yesterday. When I was younger, I think when I was about 20, I had 2 horses and it was a wonderful time for me. And then when I was married, I got 2 horses for my girls and they also had riding lessons. I really love brushing a horse and smelling a horse, that aroma of horse I just love. So I'm settling in my new home. I've been here, I think, 7 weeks and I have horses and soon I'll have goats and sheep. Okay, so assuming you are resilient and you have the capacity to self-counsel, let's look at a framework in which you can counsel yourself. Counseling yourself can be a valuable practice for self-reflection and personal growth. Self-reflection is different to the need to let go of the past. If we're ruminating and turning over with no resolve of the past, it may not be productive. Self-reflection is the ability to take a piece of the past, reflect upon it positively, and say, that had worth, that did not. I can learn from this. I will not do that again. I'll do this differently. So review, unpack, and be present. Growing wisdom. That's reflective practice. Counselling yourself can be valuable practice for self-reflection and personal growth. These are some basic guidelines, rules for counselling yourself. You may wish to take notes. Guideline 1, create a safe space. Find a quiet, comfortable environment, sit down or lie down comfortably, where you can reflect without distractions. This helps foster a sense of safety and openness. So I have a cushion, a yoga cushion, a couple of yoga cushions. I've got a couple of mementos from my mum that mean a lot to me. I have a yoga mat and I have a meditation chair that I use as a space to go to sit with myself and counsel myself. And yes, I do talk to myself. So step 1, create a safe space and own it, name it. This is your safe space, your space for your reflective practice. You may want to put a couple of symbols there, gestures, items that reflect who you are, and have a ritual around going to this safe space. Say to yourself that every Friday at 2 o'clock you'll go there, or 2 a.m. 6 a.m. each morning you might go there for 5 minutes. So give it a time and a space and a ritual so it becomes a positive habit. The difference between ritual and habit is behaviour we repeat without a lot of thought. A ritual, there is symbolism there. There is a personal meaning to why we repeat certain behaviours. Step 2, be honest. Approach your feelings and thoughts with honesty. Acknowledge both positive and negative aspects of your experiences. So in your safe space, You may want to say to yourself, okay, Lauren, let's take a few breaths. Let's relax the body. Let's give into this moment, and let's be truly raw, vulnerable, and honest about what I am going through right now. Your ability to say, gee whiz, I feel a lot of pain, or I'm really angry, or I feel like taking revenge, yet I know that that isn't the best course of action. The ability to own your thoughts and feelings in that moment. We talk a lot in meditation about seeing yourself as separate to your feelings and thoughts. And that is really important. However, when you counsel yourself, you say to yourself, I've got this feeling. It's a sticky feeling. It doesn't do a lot for me, but I've got it and I'm going to own it. Or I keep thinking this thought. It isn't productive, or perhaps it is productive. I'm going to own it, unpack it, and dispose of it, or know that I'm not ready to dispose of it yet. There are so many cockatoos outside. 3, acknowledge both the positive and negative aspects of your experiences. I'm not so keen on the words positive and negative because I think they're too simplistic. I would use Pema Chodron's words. She calls them sticky feelings or sticky thoughts, those yucky kind of jealousy, attachment feelings. Acknowledge the stickiness about your experience. So it may be jealousy, it may be insecurity, it may be a neediness. Again, a word I'm not so keen on, but let's just take that word on for this time. Our attachment issues, our enmeshment issues. Step 3, practice self-compassion. And as you're doing this, you can also, I tend to speak out aloud to myself. You may want to take notes, diarise, you may want to record it, you may want to walk while you're doing this. Process this therapeutic experience in a way that suits you, that is unique to you. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Avoid harsh self-criticism. Instead, recognize that everybody faces challenges. There is a balance between being stoic and saying, get back up, you can do this, you can cope, and allowing yourself to sit like a frog on the floor or rock in a fetal position. Both these paradigms serve a purpose. Know when a paradigm suits you, whether it's time to get back up and brush off your knees, or whether it's time to roll and rock on the floor going, oh my goodness, is this really happening? Both paradigms are okay. What is paramount is your self-care, looking after yourself. Demonstrating self-compassion can look like all sorts of things. One of the ways we move through an issue that needs to be resolved is to demonstrate and feel compassion for others. We don't have to forgive them at that time. We don't have to like them. We don't have to respect them. But understanding them, what was going on in that person's head when they did that. I'm not excited about it. I'm not ready to forgive them, but I kind of understand. 4, set clear intentions. Define what you want to achieve from your self-counselling. Say to yourself, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Who am I? Why am I here? What am I thinking? Set an intention. Define what you want to achieve from your self-counselling session, whether it's resolving a specific issue or gaining clarity. Having clear intentions can guide your reflections. Statistically, most problems don't have solutions. Resolution is not always about solutions-based therapy. Resolution is about being resilient through the process. It's really important to remember that. As we carve our journey through life, there is incredible adversity. It is not about finding the easy way, it's about finding the resilient way and deciding to experience peace anyway. We can in life do all the right things, and life simply goes pear-shaped anyway. There are always moments of joy to be found. 5, use active listening. I love this. Pay close attention to your thoughts and feelings. Listen to yourself without judgment, as if you were a supportive friend. One of the frameworks I use is the Albert Ellis chair framework, where I sit on a chair, I was going to say across from myself, which is impossible because I'm only one person, but I'll swap chairs. I'll look at the other chair and I may put a teddy bear or something on the other chair and I'll say, Lauren, how are you going? How are you really feeling, Lauren, at this time? I know that this has been really difficult, and in many ways that experience was unfair. And I'm sorry, Lauren. I'm sorry, but I know you can do this. What do you think you should do? And then I'll swap chairs and I'll be Lauren. I'll say, yes, this was very difficult. I found the experience possibly traumatizing. This is what I'd like to do. And then I swap. So I'm the counsellor in both the one counselled and the counsellor, the Albert Ellis chair method. And it works quite well. I find as soon as I talk to myself, either to the mirror or the Albert Ellis method, or setting an intention or setting goals or diarising, I start to have that third person aspect where I get out of myself and have that bird's eye view upon my life. Using active listening. So I might meditate for several minutes and just wait, just listen to my body. My body often holds any answers that can reveal themselves. And I'll just wait and I'll meditate. I might have a mantra, I might have a prayer, I might use silence, I might look at the landscape, and I wait and I listen to myself. And listen to myself, and listen to myself. Sometimes it takes a few goes of meditating and listening, but I use active listening to myself. Active listening includes the body, so you would sit with open arms, you'd lie down with open arms, you'd breathe evenly, you'd relax your body and listen. You might say to yourself, I'm ready to listen to you, Lauren. I'm ready to listen to you, Paul. I'm ready to listen. And this process of listening is without expectation. You're not feverishly waiting for a response here. You're ready to listen. As a counsellor would not demand a response, you don't demand a response of yourself. You're ready to listen. You are the kind friend. How does a kind friend behave? You are the kind friend to self. Ask open-ended questions. Engage in a dialogue with yourself by asking open-ended questions. How am I feeling? What is happening to me right now? Who am I? Am I okay? Life is not always about saying, yes, I'm okay, I'm okay. Sometimes it's saying, no, I'm not okay right now. But that's okay, and I will be okay. Being raw and vulnerable. What do I need at this moment? And saying to yourself, what do I need? I need comfort, so comfort yourself. I need rest, so go and lie in the bed. I need a good meal. I think I'll make myself lasagna. Then go and eat a whole stack of lasagna by yourself with a candle. Lasagna always works for me. Ask yourself the question, why am I sad? And say it. And say how you feel. You may want to swear, you may want to shout. If so, swear and shout. I can't do that on a YouTube video, but just imagine me swearing and shouting. Oh my giddy aunt, this is just beep, 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 awful. As you swear and shout, use coping language. Oh my giddy aunt, this is beep, 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 awful, awful, but I can cope. I can move through this. I may be as slow as a snail, but I can slither through this sludge of a life I'm having right now. Be honest. Some paradigms talk about being super positive. I don't agree with that. I'm more of a positive realist. I like the words coping, managing, thriving, rather than stronger words such as bliss and success. Those words are fine too, but I like the stronger words. The words that indicate that you will get back up when you are good and ready. Identify patterns. This is super, 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 super important. Look for recurring themes or patterns in your thoughts and behaviours. Understanding these can help you recognise areas for growth. Perhaps you're someone that tends to react and move quite quickly. So ask yourself, why do I react? Why do I move quite quickly in these set of circumstances? Why do I end up with this type of relationship? Why do I continue to have challenges with my finances? Why? And call it out. Be honest. There generally is patterns. I find when I see somebody in their face, I'm more likely to be endeared to them or like them. It helps me if I can hear somebody's pattern without meeting them. I'm better able to assess their pattern of behaviour. So consider you don't know the other person in this narrative. If you talked about your narrative and imagine repeating your narrative to a friend, what pattern would they pick up? Now, when you pick up a pattern, don't be down on yourself. Just be the observer, be the seagull over the sea looking down upon the fish. Be the observer, the quiet, careful, thoughtful, deliberating observer, and see the pattern and write it down and work towards changing it. Patterns can be really tough to change, so I wouldn't say change it in a day. Self-compassion, self-compassion, self-compassion. Challenge negative thoughts. I would prefer the word challenge sticky thoughts. Those thoughts that hold us back from being our wise, resilient self. So thoughts of jealousy, thoughts of attachment, thoughts of insecurity, thoughts of neediness. These are not bad thoughts, but they're thoughts that keep us in our animal brain and may inhibit us rising above ourselves and gaining perspective. When we look at our thoughts and how we can change thoughts and change behaviours, and the next point we'll look at setting goals, there are three things we can do. There are only three choices. When we have an issue, we can withdraw, we can accept, we can change. One of the sticky issues about receiving counselling from someone else, a professional, or self-counselling, or both, is that it can be difficult to own stuff and cop it on the chin, so to speak. If you find you're saying that you're going to change, and then you say you're going to change, then you're going to say you're going to change, like I'm going to stop gambling next Monday again and again and again, or I'm going to stop eating chocolate again and again and again, or I'm going to leave this person again and again and again. Own that you are not being honest with yourself. Own it and look down upon it. Be brutally honest with that pattern of behaviour. We can attempt to change a line of behaviour once, twice, maybe thrice. Then we need to own that we have a deeply set of behaviour patterns that we need to have a good damn look at. I'm not saying being harsh, I'm not judging here. I've certainly got my sack full of behaviours that could do with changing. But if you want to change, you've got to look yourself in the face and say, I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm going to change. Changing requires learning. I'm willing to learn. Learning requires a skill set. I'm willing to practice. Set goals around withdrawing, changing, or accepting the issue. Based on your reflection, set realistic and achievable goals for personal development. Goals are really important to break them down into manageable, bite-sized pieces and break them into tasks. So goals are subjective, like there may be an umbrella goal like get fit, which you can't measure, you can't tick or cross that you're fit. So get fit could be the umbrella goal. And then the objective goal is I will run 10Ks in 3 months. And the tasks could be I will go running 5 times a week following this program. So you've broken it down into achievable steps. Goals are very important. We talk often about being wary of the future because the future is uncertain. But setting goals gives us drive and motivation, which is important. Happiness can only be felt in the present. But our present self enjoys the reward of setting goals. We find that balance between reflective practice, looking back, sitting in the present, and planning a future with the awareness that the future is uncertain. Practice mindfulness. Incorporate mindfulness techniques to stay present with your thoughts and feelings. This can reduce anxiety and promote clarity. Promote clarity. Meditation is so important. When I find myself making poorer decisions, I go back to meditation. I'm naturally a fast thinker and I can be quite reactive. Meditation is my chicken soup. Today it's my potato soup to my soul. It reminds me to slow down. Slowing down is not, oh no, it is not natural to myself. I am not a slow person. Meditation brings me back to my heart center. Keep a journal. I have been keeping a journal now for something like 15 years. I keep a Penzu journal, Penzu. You can download it for free. And it sends back to me pages of my past. And it's interesting because sometimes I think, oh, I was so happy last November in 2021. And then Penzu sends me a diary piece that says, oh, I was so frustrated, or I really struggle with this or that. And it's interesting. It gives me another view of myself. Because sometimes you can look back and you think the grass is greener or a particular experience is better than now. And Penzu, good old Penzu, tells me straight, and it's really helpful. I really like keeping a journal. If I'm under the pump and time poor, I may just write one sentence. But the habit, or we'd say the ritual because it has meaning, habits with meaning are rituals, it would be a ritual. The last point is seek support when needed. It is really important that we're aware that we're a social being, and as a social being, we thrive in a community. So there's times when we need a trusted friend, there's times when we need professional support. It is not wise to go it alone. If you are not okay, own it and seek help. I certainly do. You are the most important person in your life. The only way you can help others is to be your own best friend. Self-care is always your initial mantra. I am loading right now a very simple body scan using the Serenity Prayer, which I love. So I do hope you love it. Please let me know. Thank you for following me on Patreon. It makes this channel possible. Thank you for sharing my content, and be mindful, be truly mindful. You are your own best friend, and we cannot be a friend to another if we are not our own best friend first.